I wanted to ask you one question because you've brought it up, alluded to it a few times throughout this, and we've mentioned it before, offline, imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Tell me about your imposter syndrome you said you feel.
I don't necessarily feel the syndrome, but the voice is still there in my head. Sitting here as we're speaking on the podcast, I can hear that voice. Like, you shouldn't be here. This guy's worked for the FBI. He's a badass. You shouldn't be talking to him. That's still going on in my head, even while I'm sitting here right now on this podcast. And the voices don't go away.
Mm-hmm.
They do not leave. And this is whether you're Dr. Phil or you're Oprah, the voices are still there. How you hear the voices is what changes over time and what should change over time. And I'm hearing fiction, but I used to put credibility in those little thoughts, in those little voices, but I'm hearing fiction now. So it took a while to just change my relationship and know that those little voices that are saying those things are just a kid. It's a tiny little kid trying to help you. And if you just start hearing it in a little childish voice, maybe give that kid a name, it's helping you to dissociate from it a little bit. But I want everybody to know that you're hearing fiction. And the mistake we make is trying to get rid of the voices. I want you to just, as an experiment, try to delete Mary had a little lamb. You know the end of that already. You can't delete that. Try to delete that from your mind. You can't do it. So instead of hearing that one way, we're hearing it differently. So like if we remember the War of the Worlds podcast or audiobook.
Yep.
If I had heard the beginning of it and I know it's an audiobook, I know it's fiction, and I go to pick you up for lunch and you jump in the car and you think that the world's getting attacked by aliens, we're hearing the exact same thing. They're coming out of the same speakers, going into our heads simultaneously. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. I'm relaxed. I'm looking at the road, and you're freaking out. Your only focus is on this potential threat because you're not sure if you're hearing fiction or not. Right. I am sure. And I don't mean to make everything about you, but I'm just, in this example, whoever I picked up would be worried because they're not sure if it's fiction or fact.